right, so we're going to combine for this 7-5 Day 2 lesson the three rules that we've just learned in the past two sections. So the first one is, what if we have a log equal to a number? Well, that's when we rewrite it exponentially and then we solve. What if we have two logs equal to each other? Remember, that's when we cross to those logs that were common off and set the inside parts equal. So those are review. We also have this one where we have a log plus or minus a log equaling a number, and that's when we condense it. So if it's addition, it's multiplication, and if it's subtraction, then it's the division, and we combine it to be one log equation. Then we'll rewrite it and solve it. So we're going to go ahead and combine that. So let's take a look at what that looks like for this first example. So we want to condense, but remember that starts with coefficients. So it's going to be a log base 6 of 3 to the second power plus log base 6 of x plus 2 equals 2. Then what we want to do is change this addition into multiplication. So we have log base 6 of 3 squared times x plus 2 equals 2, which is going to give us 9 that we want to distribute. So that's log base 6 of 9 times x is 9x, and 9 times 2 is 18. So now we're going to rewrite it so we can solve it. So our base is going to be 6, our exponent 2, so 6 squared, equals, and that equals 9x plus 18. So then what we're going to do is finish solving. So let's subtract that 18 from the 36, and we get 18 equals 9x, divide by 9, and x equals 2. So quite a few steps there. If you just start with condensing it and then move into the solving, it kind of flows pretty well. So let's do another one together. So let's start with our coefficients, and then we'll end up condensing next. All right, so subtraction is going to be division here. So we have one log that we need, keeping that base of 2. We want the x squared on top, and we want the 5 squared on the bottom. I'm going to go ahead and change that to 25. All right, so now let's go ahead and set it up so we can solve. And the way that we do that is we rewrite it. So I'm going to kind of move that. Let's try and get that all moved over a little bit. There we go. Now we got some more room. So we have a base of 2, an exponent of 2, so 2 squared equals, and it equals this x squared over 25. And then if you change this into a fraction, you can cross multiply. So we wind up with x squared equaling 25 times 4, which is 100, and the square root of 100, so x equals positive 10 and negative 10. All right, so let's have you try the next one on your own. So there's no coefficients here. You're just going to go ahead and change this addition to multiplication and then rewrite it and solve. Check when you're ready. All right, so let's go ahead and check. We want to take this 8 and multiply it by these two things here by distributing to get 24x minus 80. Then we'll rewrite it. When there's no base, it's a base of 10. So 10 to the third power, because our exponent's out here, equals 24x minus 80. Then we solve. This is 1,000. Add that 80, divide by 24, and you get your answer of 45. So let's take a look at another one. Condense it. No coefficients. Keep that same base. And then we take the x times this here. So it's x squared plus 6x equals 2. Let's rewrite it. Base of 4 squared, because there's my exponent, equals x squared plus 6x. This one is going to be a quadratic because that x squared is going to stay there, which means we're going to get this 16 to the other side and factor. So minus that 16. Let's think of the factors of negative 16 that add to get 6. So those factors are going to be 8 and negative 2. setting both of those equal to 0, x is equal to -8, and x is equal to 2. All right, try this next one on your own. It is going to be division, but you'll wind up being able to do the square root to solve. So first, combine it into one log with a base of 3. Make sure to do division since it's subtraction here, and then solve. Check your answer when you're ready. All right, so first, log base 3, division with this first on the top, divided by 5. Rewrite it, so 3 is the base, 1 is the exponent, equal to this, what's inside. Put this over 1 so then we can just easily cross multiply here. Then you can either get the 10 over here and do the square root, or you can subtract the 15 and then factor that difference of squares to get positive 5 and negative 5. So one more, keep that log base the same. This one is subtraction, so it's division. X plus 5 over x minus 3 equaling 1. Now let's rewrite it. 5 is the base, 1 is the exponent, equal to x plus 6 over x minus 3. Use cross multiplication, and it's x plus 6 equals, make sure this 5 is then distributed to both of these. And you could rewrite it and then distribute. And then solve. Minus x, add 15, 21 equals 4x, divide by 4, and you can leave it as a fraction, 21/4. All right, last rule that we're going to talk about, what if we've got the logs on both sides? So addition or subtraction, you're still going to simplify. We're going to condense both sides into a single log with no coefficients. And then we're going to solve. So let's just go ahead and take a look at that example here. So let's go ahead and get rid of any coefficients and condense both sides. So on this side, we're going to get a log base 5. 10 times 12 is 120. When if it's addition, remember we multiply. Move any exponents, and then we are going to I'm just going to go ahead and move it up here and get rid of it there. And with addition here on this side, the same base, we're going to go ahead and multiply the 2/3 times the a. Well, 2 to the third is 8, and times a would be 8a. So now we look to see if they have this same log, which they do. We could go ahead and set our inside parts equal. So 120 equals 8a, and solve. So a equals 15. Let's do one more of those together. So on our sides, we want to first just condense. Since it's the same log, we can go ahead, if it's addition, multiply. And in this case, we're going to be multiplying by both things here. So 4a plus 4. And then over here, no condensing on this side. So now we look, yep, they've got the same log, so we can set their parts that are inside equal. And then solve. Minus 4. So 4a is equal to 28, and divide by 4. So a equals 7. So try this next one on your own. Remember to condense. Move any coefficients first, though, before you condense. And condense on both sides. Then you can cancel and solve. All right, take that exponent there. So log base 9, 5 squared. And then we're going to go ahead and combine these. Now let's make it 10w. It's weird to write w10. Okay, so after we get rid of that exponent there, or make that exponent there, then we can combine this side. Once we have that, 4 times 25, 100, then we can go ahead and cross those logs off since they are the same. So 100 equals 10w, divide by 10, and we should get 10. All right, so for that next one, we are going to take that subtraction and make it division, putting that x squared plus 9 on the top and the 5 on the bottom, and just make it log base 4 equals. And then let's go ahead and make that exponent. So log base 4 of 3 squared. So we've got the log base 4, cancel those, and we have x squared plus 9 over 5 equals 9. And let's make that a 9 over 1 so we can now cross multiply. So it's x squared plus 9 equals 45, and minus 9, and then we can just do that square root to both sides, so 36. So x equals positive 6, and x equals negative 6. Try that last one on your own, check when you're ready. All right, so for this one, first get that exponent there. Addition becomes multiplication, so it's 3 times x squared with a log base 5. Here, it's multiplication since it's addition, so 3 times this trinomial here, and we get that. Then cross off the logs, since they're equal. Put the 3x squared equal to the trinomial here. Subtract that 2x squared, add that 4, minus that 12, get everything to one side. And the reason we didn't move this 3x squared over is because that would give us a negative x squared, which we could do, but then we'd have to get rid of all that, that negatives by dividing by 1, because we want a positive x squared. So now that we have that, we can factor and then solve and get our 2 answers.